What is unconditional love? Have you ever thought about it? It's being loved just for existing, without having to do anything for someone else. Today, I want to share with you the great turnaround in my life. Abandoned by my biological parents and raised as an adopted child. My name is Shanae, and I am 32 years old. I was born weak and developed asthma at the age of 3, making me a child that requires extra care. My sister, 2 years older than me, is named Violetta. Fair-skinned, with big double eyelids and a straight nose. She had all 3 features of a beautiful face. For my parents, who had always dreamed of having a daughter become a network announcer, Violetta was the perfect child. In contrast with my plain, unremarkable face, I was the disappointment. Even as a child, I was aware of the difference in how our parents treated us. Because of my asthma attacks, I was only able to attend preschool in my final year. I envied Violetta, who was dressed in cute clothes and had her hair done by Mom every morning. While Violetta was at preschool, I played alone with dolls and drew pictures. Although Mom, a housewife, was always at home, I don't remember her ever playing with me. Maybe Violetta pitied me because of this.
Shanae, if you find this leaf, your cough will go away, and you'll get better. Yes, Shanae, now you're a princess too, she said, gifting me a 4-leaf clover and a daisy chain crown. Believing Violetta's words, I sometimes sneaked out to the vacant lot nearby to find for 4-leaf clovers. One day, a big truck arrived and a piano was delivered to Violetta's room. Curious about the piano I was seeing for the first time, I intently watched Violetta play. Do you want to try playing, Shanae?
Violetta asked me. Just as I was about to touch the keys.
Hey, don't disturb Violetta! The piano is for her!
I was scolded. Mom's face at that moment was scarier than the red ogre mask worn during the bean throwing festival. By the time I started elementary school, my sister was busy with many lessons. Piano, English, ballet, and swimming. While Mom was preoccupied with Violetta's activities, I was tasked with household chores.
Since you're always at home and probably bored, at least help around the house.
Hearing this, I started doing chores like cleaning, laundry, and dishwashing. From 3rd grade, I even prepared meals for the family. Even on bitterly cold winter days when my hands would go numb.
Use cold water. Hot water costs gas money.
I remember blowing warm breath on my frostbitten red hands. That scene is still vivid in my mind. Beautiful and academically gifted, Violetta always scored 100 on her tests.
Violetta, great job. Violetta, you're amazing.
Seeing Violetta being praised and petted on the head by our parents made me envious. I wanted to be praised too.
Mom, look, I got 100 points too,
I said with a smile, presenting my test paper. But Mom looked at my face and said,
Shanae, stop that unpleasant smile. You'll never match up to Violetta.
What? I was shocked. Not only did I not get praised for scoring 100, but I was also scolded for my smile compared to Violetta. After that day, I stopped showing my test papers and forced smiles. Then, 2 months before my elementary school graduation, on February 5th, a day I'll never forget. Violetta was away at a ski camp, not home.
Shanae, we're going to a restaurant today,
Dad suddenly announced. I was surprised because they had never taken me out for a meal before. More curious than happy, I went to the restaurant where my grandparents were waiting. What's going on?
Shanae, eat whatever you like today,
Mom said kindly.
I'll have the kids' menu then,
I said modestly.
The kids' menu? Is that all you want?
My parents asked, looking puzzled.
Don't hold back. Order something more expensive,
they encouraged. Still, the kids' menu, something I had always longed for, tasted delicious, and my parents were kind. It was a long-awaited scene for me. Then suddenly Dad said seriously,
Shanae, Violetta will be attending a school in the city starting next month, so Mom and Dad will go with her.
What? I was speechless by the sudden news. Then Mom added, "We really want to take you too, but with your asthma. And a nurse will take care of you. Uncle Percy and Aunt Jocelyn don't have children, and they want to take you in as their child, raised by your grandparents. Percy owns many companies, so you'll have a comfortable life. It's a good thing for you, Shanae." I was stunned. Aunt Jocelyn spoke to me gently, seeing me silent. "Shanae, do you mind living with your grandparents?" I couldn't find the words. It wasn't that I disliked Percy and Jocelyn. The aunt couple always cared for me, frail as I was. They were always kind and took care of me whenever my parents and Violetta were away. They cared about me more than my own parents. As I struggled to answer, Mom said, "Shanae, you love the piano, right? I know you've been learning from Jocelyn recently, so we'll leave the piano for you. Become Jocelyn's child." After hearing Mom say that, I couldn't refuse. I wasn't being abandoned. I was becoming Jocelyn's child for a better life. I nodded slightly. After being taken in by the aunt couple, I lived a comfortable life, just as Mom said. "Maybe you should take piano lessons seriously," Jocelyn suggested, and I started attending piano classes. From healthy eating to building physical strength, the aunt couple supported me, and by the time I graduated middle school, my asthma attacks had subsided, allowing me to lead a normal life. When I got accepted into one of California's top prep schools, they were overjoyed, tears streaming down their faces. I never stopped thinking about my parents and Violetta, but I convinced myself that making the aunt couple happy was my happiness. I had planned to get a job after high school, but Jocelyn said, "You've been too good all this time. Be selfish for once," and encouraged me to go to music school. In college, living alone, they called every day, worried about me, and occasionally visited. Then, one day in my senior year of college,
"Shanae, how have you been?"
the voice I heard after 10 years was Violetta's.
"What? Violetta?"
I should have been overjoyed, but all I could muster was,
"Yeah, Violetta. How have you been?"
a simple phrase. But it showed how much the 10-year gap meant to me. She had called after getting my number from Jocelyn.
"I heard you won a competition. Congratulations,"
Violetta said, referring to a piano competition I had participated in.
"Yeah, thanks.
But it wasn't such a big event to brag about. The competition wasn't covered on national TV or newspapers, but it made the front page of the local paper.
That's not true. You were #1 in the whole country. No matter the competition, being the best in America is a big deal,"
Violetta encouraged. I remembered the time she was the only one in the family who praised me when I scored 100 on a test. Lost in these thoughts, Violetta suddenly lowered her voice.
"Shanae, do you hate me?"
I was taken aback by the unexpected question. "What?" Confused, I didn't immediately respond. "No, not at all. I was lonely. You didn't contact me for 10 years, but I was taken care of by Jocelyn to properly treat my illness. I never harbored any resentment."
"What?"
Now Violetta was surprised. She was shocked to learn that I had been given up for adoption, believing that I had gone to live with the aunt couple to treat my illness. Then she told me the truth. I was indeed an abandoned child. I had convinced myself I was with the aunt couple to be cured and to be happy. What was the past 10 years then? I was speechless at Violetta's revelation.
"Shanae, I'm sorry. I really am. I thought you knew everything. Dad and Mom said they had told you the truth."
"No, Violetta, it's not your fault. Those two are the bad ones." My vague feelings towards my parents solidified into clear hatred.
"Those two are struggling now, so they might contact you. Be careful."
"Yeah, thanks." A month later, I was visiting the aunt couple's home.
Bing bong.
The doorbell rang. "Shanae, you have a visitor," Jocelyn called. In the living room with Jocelyn, I saw them, my parents, after 10 years. They were surprised by my changed appearance. "Is that really Shanae? The plain-faced one?" They stared as if trying to see through me. You, the listeners, might have had this experience. A student who was unremarkable in middle school becomes strikingly beautiful as an adult. Yes, I might fit that pattern. Not stunningly beautiful, but I had the potential to become beautiful. How have you been? Mom asked. You two are neither guests nor anything else to me. Never come back again. Without saying that, I responded with a smile. Yes, is Violetta doing well? Ah, Violetta, after all the money we put into her lessons, she couldn't keep up at her city school. Ended up graduating from a third-rate university and now works at some unknown company. Living alone now. Who knows how she's doing? Such a nasty tone. By the way, what are you two doing? Where do you live? I deliberately changed the subject.
Well, got tired of the city life. Thinking of starting a business here for now. Planning to live in an apartment around here.
That seemed quite far from the truth. According to Violetta, Dad quit his job 10 years ago, joined another company through an acquaintance, but that company went bankrupt, and he reluctantly came back home just a month ago.
How about we go out for family dinner for old time's sake? I'll treat you to anything you like.
Really? Who's saying that? That sounds nice. Why don't the three of us go? Jocelyn suggested kindly. Then I'd like to have king crab. I made my request, and the three of us went to the restaurant I chose.
Order whatever you like. 2 or 3 king crabs. No, eat as much as you want. Don't hold back.
I remembered being told the same thing 10 years ago. Then I'll have one of these king crabs, please.
Sure, right away.
Sorry. Could you also prepare 2 more for takeout?
Of course, no problem.
Dad squinted at the small print on the menu through his reading glasses.
What?
He exclaimed. He had just ordered 3 servings of the most expensive item, king crab, at $85 each. Isn't that a bit excessive? I said, not really meaning it.
No, it's fine. Who are the other 2 servings for?
For Percy and Jocelyn, of course. It wouldn't be fair for me to be the only one enjoying it. And Dad, you said 2 or 3 king crabs, so I took you up on that offer.
Yes, of course.
Dad laughed it off and whispered to Mom while checking his wallet. Well, I'm not that hungry. I'll have the mini size. Dad will have the same. They ordered the cheapest item on the menu, the $28 mini size. By the way, there's something important I need to tell you. Mom started the main conversation. You won first place in the competition, and with your looks, you must be getting offers from everywhere. Do you have a sponsor yet? Just like Violetta said. Well, if you need a manager, Mom can do it. We've been apart for 10 years. We can live together again, like before. How can she say that? I smoothly sidestepped Mom. Thank you for the meal today. It's not much of a thank you, but are you free next Tuesday evening? I'd like you to hear my piano performance. Of course, I wouldn't miss it. Then meet here at this restaurant at 5 in the evening. I handed them the restaurant's business card, and on the promised day, Oh, you're here too? My parents were surprised when they entered the restaurant because the Ann couple was also there. Today we're celebrating a special anniversary, so I've booked the place and invited Percy and Jocelyn too. Exactly 10 years ago, on February 5th, the place where I was invited by my parents to eat from the kids' menu. Unfortunately, the old restaurant had closed, and now it's a chic French restaurant owned by Percy's acquaintance. Anniversary? Doesn't seem like a birthday.
That's right.
They seemed puzzled, apparently having completely forgotten about what happened 10 years ago. Don't you remember? Eating together with this group 10 years ago, you told me to become a child of the grandparents and find happiness. Oh, that's right. I've been so forgetful lately. I completely forgot. Forgetful? So, it was such a trivial event that it could be dismissed with simple words? I wonder if we could listen to the piano performance before dinner since we have some time. I said this and sat down at the piano. I played several classic pieces that everyone would recognize. Dad, Mom, I'm going to play this next piece especially for you. so please listen carefully. Then I played the piano, and my parents dramatically cried as they listened. Shanae, thank you. It was a beautiful piece.
Yes, it was really good.
They said this, pretending to be moved. Excuse me? Could we start preparing for dinner? I called out to the shop staff. Dad, I wonder what kind of dishes they will serve.
Well, it's a fancy place, so I'm looking forward to it.
They quickly wiped away their exaggerated fake tears. At that moment, the long-awaited couple, a man and a woman, arrived. Ah, there's Violetta. I waved towards the entrance. At my call, my parents turned around and...
Why is Violetta here? And with the man?
They were utterly surprised. It's to celebrate my sister's wedding and to welcome the new family member. I declared it like a fanfare. Violetta got married? My parents looked utterly clueless. It was news to them. Violetta had called me after 10 years partly to share this news. Seeing my parents still confused and struggling to understand the situation, I told them with a smile. Then, you two should leave now. What? My parents were shocked. Do you know the meaning of the song I just played? It was a song about the decision to part ways. Don't you get it? It means today is our farewell. I explained with heavy irony. What? How dare you talk to your parents like that?
That's enough of your jokes,
my parents angrily retorted.
The ones joking around are you two,
Violetta sharply retorted.
Have you forgotten what you did 10 years ago? Saying it was a waste to spend money on a sick daughter, pushing her care onto Jocelyn, and making her buy a $2,000 used piano for $10,000. Ridiculous. Offering to manage me because I won a contest? Parents like you are called toxic parents. Now leave!
Violetta was as cool as a detective cornering a criminal in a 2-hour suspense drama. Then Jocelyn, who had been quiet, spoke up. What these kids are saying is true. I'll say it too, since it's come to this. Open your ears and listen well. I've always hated you. Arrogant and insensitive. Treating your daughter like your property. So from now on, don't involve yourself with us or Violetta. It was the first time I saw the always smiling and gentle Jocelyn so angry. Percy followed up.
You two don't even have 1% of the right to call yourself parents, so please, leave this place now.
It was the first time Percy and Jocelyn referred to their relationship with me as parents and child, and it deeply touched my heart. The two, now cornered with no escape. What will they do? The first to surrender was Dad.
I'm sorry. So sorry, it's Dad's fault. Forgive me.
I wondered if Mom would apologize too, but instead, it's embarrassing for a grown man to apologize deeply. That's why you're such a failure, you stupid husband. She berated her own husband terribly.
What? A failure? Stupid husband? It's all your fault for bringing down my luck.
What? Bringing down your luck? The two of them started arguing, exchanging harsh words.
Is it alright if we start serving dinner? Should we call the police?
The shop staff intervened between the glaring couple. Police? We don't need the police. That was the only line they seemed to agree on. Without saying anything more, they hastily left the scene.
That was quite an entertaining little drama.
We should be more careful not to end up like that.
Violetta and Lauren said in unison, smiling. So, how about a toast to celebrate this new beginning? We all cheered triumphantly. What happened to those parents afterward? They had always blamed their daughter's failings for their unhappiness, but eventually realized that the root of all the evil was their own marriage, leading to a divorce. Dad ended up sweating it out at day labor while living a rough life alone, and Mom, unable to find a place to stay, worked as a waitress's helper in a hotel. As for us, who toasted to the new beginning, our stories continued. Violetta, thank you for always watching over me from afar, and congratulations on your marriage once again. I dedicated a wedding song to Violetta. And then, Dad, Mom, thank you for raising me with so much love. I look forward to your continued support. Please listen to this song filled with my gratitude for you both. The feeling of thanks I had always wanted to express but couldn't. Finally able to call them Dad and Mom. Shanae, we should be the ones thanking you.
Yes, we truly are grateful that you became our daughter.
The day, February 5th, once marked by sad memories, has now become a joyous anniversary for our new family. 6 years have passed since then. I married my high school sweetheart. We were blessed with 2 adorable daughters and now live in a 2-family home with my parents. Some might say I should have dreamed bigger after graduating from music college, but building a happy, smiling family was my biggest dream. Having achieved that dream, I now run a music school at home, teaching children to play the piano.
Here, Mommy, I'll give you a 4-leaf clover.
Thank you. Just as my parents showered me with unconditional love, I want to give the same to my children.